My name is Babatunde Babafemi Adesanya. Here's the story of my good old days. To me, no matter how happy and contented a life we are living now, memories of the past are always evergreen in our minds. This to me are some precious moments and beautiful hours that often leave us nostalgic. I belong to a generation that was molded to uphold honesty, self-respect, and respect for others, have self-pride but not arrogance, boldness but not foolhardiness. I was born in Mushin, Lagos, but my late parents hailed from Ijebu and Igbile respectively in the present Udogbolu local government of Ogun State. I was barely 9 months old when my paternal grandmother took me to Umu. This was done, according to her, to prevent me from experiencing turbulence of the then civil war. Many people will be surprised that I was raised in a typical village setting and probably think children raised by grannies usually turn out to be spoiled children. Mine was never the case. Whilst growing up, my grandmother made it a point of duty to instill some core values, customs and traditions in me. I started my primary school education at St. Paul's Primary School in the village. My parents were Muslims and the whole generations of my family were Muslims. So I wonder why I should be made to attend a Christian school. My grandmother did this to ensure that I adequately imbibed the Christian values then, to enable me have a wider view of religion and its essence in our lives. At the same time, after school hours, I will still be compelled to attend the Quranic lessons. In all, I later got to know she was doing this to make me have the fear of God as the first step in the various stages of socialization. I remember then, though my parents were wealthy, I was still made to go to the farm at weekends to tend to the cassava farm of my grandmother, not for anything, but to imbibe the culture of time management and hard work. I can be referred to as a big boy in my town, one you can safely call an aristocrat. But my grandmother ensured I mingle with the high and the low. According to her, Biashi Bieru la Biomo, meaning all men are born equal. Her admonition I remember till today. I started reading the newspapers when I got promoted to primary 4. How? You want to ask. My grandmother would always go to Ijebu every 5 days to display articles to willing buyers and as suppliers as well. So her shop owner then would busy himself reading the newspaper and would not engage himself with any frivolous behavior and gossips. She discovered the man was always focused on reading. So she bought Sketch and Tribune newspapers for me. She would sit down and then ask me to be reading the contents of the newspapers to her hearing. The interpreter then was a teacher who was living in our compound, Mr. Okunla. I completed my primary school education and later on proceeded to Ayantuga Memorial Comprehensive School at Nofurija Ekpe. It was a private school. My paternal uncle decided to take me there because he felt I should be taught early in life to be independent. My stay in Ekpe was funny, fun-filled, topsy-turvy, and full of adventures. I became a big boy. However, I was taken away from that private school when a school was established in Umu, my town. I had to start from class 1 again. That was the time I experienced what is now known as depression. I came out of this quickly because my grandmother was always there to give me soft landing. My school's principal then, Mr. Ademola Okusoya, played a very critical role in my integration into the school, which I considered a totally pro-lateral school, judging from where I was coming from, a bourgeois school, a private school for that matter. But my grandmother would always make me remember her adage then, Biashi Bieru la Biomo. I can go on and on. The sweet memories still linger till today. Though there were bitter times, all was not rosy. Those bitter times were always taken care of by the attributes and values that were instilled in me early in life. My good old days may seem rosy. It was not a cookie-cutter affair. After all, our vision of the good old days must intertwine with our collective initiative to work towards a more meaningful and brighter tomorrow. Let's resolve to turn the tides. The spirit of the moment for all should be realign the past with the present in order to help shape the future of our children. They, our children, deserve a better and brighter future. The good old days belong to us. The good and better tomorrow belong to them. Let's work towards changing the narrative. I align and join my faith with Sir Shimu Ribadejo in the great task towards ensuring a greater and assured tomorrow for our children. Thank you.